In today's video, we are going to be talking about several different weapon XP methods in Modern Warfare 2. Before the video does start, I just want to say a quick thank you for 100k, which is just absolutely insane. I never even thought that I would be able to say that, so thank you so much for the support. If you are new around here, a lot of my content revolves around how to do things as fast as possible in Call of Duty, such as unlocking camos, challenges, and leveling up. I like to take a no BS and no fluff approach to my videos instead of making them all 20 minutes long when it's not needed. So without further ado, let's get into it, and we all know by now that invasion is definitely going to be one of the best methods. So the first method is going to be one of the best invasion methods I found, but you do need 2 people for this one. For this first invasion method, you want to come on the map TcTeckk, and you need to have this spawn, and then you want to head to the right hand side of the map. You want to make your way up this ladder. It doesn't really matter if you are here, but this is just the best place that I found to be the safest from all of the enemies. And your teammate is going to want to go on top of the tower that you see in front of me. Whenever any teammate is up on top of the tower, all of the bots will basically just gather underneath it, and this is going to result in them all piling up, and you're going to get some really easy kills. Every single time a new bot spawns in near that location, they are going to run straight towards the tower and just sit underneath it, so it's easy XP. Make sure you have a munitions box so you can keep regenerating your ammo, and make sure the person on the tower has a TcTeckk insert so they can keep respawning. The next method is going to apply to pretty much every single invasion map. No matter what map you get and no matter what spawn you get, you pretty much want to take an extremely heavy flank. So go to the very outskirts of the map and flank the entire spawn. This is going to allow you to just stay in the enemy side of the map, and this is where all of the bots are going to be spawning. A couple of tips whilst you are doing this. First things first, you want to use the package called Phantom. This is going to have Ghost on it as the ultimate perk, and this will allow you to stay off the minimap if the enemies have a UAV. The next tip, and this is the #1 most helpful, biggest tip when it comes to invasion XP, make sure you have a TcTeckk insert on. A lot of you guys are probably high enough level at the moment to get a TcTeckk insert. I believe you have to be about level 42 and you'll get a TcTeckk insert, and you want to place this down somewhere in the enemy spawn where they're not going to find it. Once you have all of that in place, the rest of the game is going to be an absolute breeze. The most annoying part about invasion is the fact that you spawn so far away whenever you die, and you have to make your way all the way back to the enemy spawn. But with a TcTeckk insert, you're going to spawn exactly where you put it every single time, and it just comes in clutch. You're going to be able to get 10 times the amount of XP if you have a TcTeckk insert. This applies for every single map. Once again, just do a heavy flank. Find where the enemy's helicopters are landing, literally just look around and you'll see a couple of the bot helicopters landing, and just stick around that location and wait for more and more to drop. Now we've talked about invasion, let's go ahead and talk about ground war. Ground war is pretty good for XP, however one of the best ways to get XP in ground war at the moment is hopping into a tank and basically trying to get as much XP in this tank as possible. Whenever you get XP in a tank, the XP you get is going to actually count towards your weapon. Not sure why, but this is just the way it works. As you can see here, I went ahead and captured this flag only just, and I actually leveled up my PDSW, and all the XP you get is going to go straight to your weapon. I would personally recommend this for rocket launchers, riot shields, and knives, things that are pretty hard to get kills with. So if you are struggling with those, hop into ground war, hop into a tank, and you're good to go. The next game mode we're going to be talking about is Spec Ops. Spec Ops is pretty good, and I've got you 2 different methods for this one. On average for this first method, I was getting about 3 to 4 levels every single 10 minutes, so it's pretty decent. You want to load into the Defender Mount Zaya mission. However, the only downside to Spec Ops is the fact that you can only use the weapons that are available inside of the mission. There is quite a lot of options to pick from. There's RPGs and there's snipers and pistols, so if you are struggling with certain weapons such as RPGs or pistols, then this could be a very good option just to get those done, and then you could do the other options for weapons that are a bit easier to get kills with, such as SMGs and assault rifles. In this specific co-op mission, there is a method that I have found to work the best. So the first thing you want to make sure to do is skip the rounds early. There's a little button that you can press near the armory, and you can basically start the waves early, and this is just going to speed things up a little bit. The next thing that I'd recommend doing is kind of learning the spawns and learning what is going to happen next. If you can get it down to a T and you can learn every single spawn point and everything that is going to happen next, you can be at the spawn point waiting for the enemies to spawn, and then you can just quickly rinse through the rounds. Now what you want to do on this specific mission is actually go to round 3, complete round 3, and then leave. There's no point in going past round 3 because past round 3 the enemies get harder, they have riot shields, they have explosive vests, and there's also a few juggernauts as well, so there's not really any point in going past round 3 because it's just going to take too long and it's just more time efficient if you get to round 3, complete it, and then after that just leave the match and then keep doing it over and over again. One thing I got asked a lot whenever I did my last Spec Ops mission is if you can do this solo. Unfortunately, you can't do this solo. You can only do it with random people or one of your friends. The final method I have for you guys is in the low profile Spec Ops mission, and for this one, you're going to only be able to use these weapons that are available in the mission as well. There's a few decent ones and I would recommend doing this if you are trying to level up those weapons. There's only a few to pick from, but it is definitely worth it if you want to just get those weapons done quickly. As soon as you spawn in, you want to go to this building next to the C building, and then you want to wipe out the enemies on the top of the building. You then want to go ahead and activate your snake cam underneath this door that I'm going to show you guys in a second. So underneath this door, there's a snake cam. You have to be standing up, and then you want to basically spam whichever button it tells you to spam in order to actually get into the snake cam. You then want to exit the snake cam, and if done correctly, you will now be in guard mode and none of the enemies will be able to kill you. Now the reason this works really well, on average I was getting about 3 to 5 levels every single time I did this method. I do think it might have gotten a little bit of a nerf. I have had a lot of comments about this method and a lot of people are saying that they're only getting about 2 levels per game, but that is still pretty decent because it only takes about 5 minutes. So what you want to do as soon as you have guard mode enabled is basically try and kill all the enemies as fast as possible, make your way to each objective as fast as possible, make sure to just do it as fast as possible, but along the way you obviously want to get as many kills as possible as well. This should only take you about 5 minutes per run, so 5 minutes and 2 levels, honestly, it might sound like it's not a lot, but it actually is very good if you compare it to other methods. So just rinse through it as fast as possible, and then at the very end, before you exfil, just leave the match and then keep doing it over and over again. It's honestly a very good method, you just have to do it right. Subscribe for more and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.